Um, so thanks, Krissa, for doing this Zoom meeting on such short notice.
Yeah, sure. You're welcome.
Um, I just want to ask you a couple questions about life at the village and how it is for you and things like that. So I'll start with the first question. What was your situation before arriving at Unity Village or Safe Haven or whatever?
Um, I was renting a room somewhere. Well, I was supposed to be renting it. I was out of work, and so I hadn't been able to pay it for a long time. Um, and it wasn't a great place anyway. Several things got stolen from me. One of the roommates broke into my room and stole something from me. One of the people that rented one of the other rooms. So yeah, I was getting kicked out of my apartment and going to be on the street, or of my room, and going to be on the street before I ended up here.
Yeah. Do you feel safe at Unity Village?
Yes, definitely. I mean, we have the fence, we have all the cameras. I mean, not to mention, we have the mayor and deputy mayor. I haven't met anybody yet who really wants to get on Tina's bad side or cross Tina. So yeah, I mean, that alone, keeps the peace, pretty much all the time. But yeah, I feel safe. I've always have. I've been with the organization for over a year. I started at Safe Haven, and yeah, it's just even been better here. I feel even safer here just because of the changes and how things are running.
Well, that's encouraging. That's good to hear. I'm glad. Um, do you think that Unity Village has helped you?
Do I think Unity Village has helped me? Without a doubt. I mean, for one, I'd be on the street if it wasn't for Unity Village, for Homes Now. Also, as you know, I mean, some of the listeners, I guess, might not know, but I'm the only transgender resident. So for me, especially, yeah, it's been. I can't even really. I don't even know if I have the words to have some place to be able to feel that I can safely go through this transition is priceless. And the fact that everybody in here, every other resident, has just totally supported me. I haven't got, I haven't had one bit of trouble with anybody. Nobody's made me feel lesser or anything. I mean, there's times when I have stubble and um, they still treat me as who I am. They still treat me as a female. So it's definitely helped me. I mean, just that alone, like I said, is priceless. But then, I mean, I'm not on the street. I have an opportunity to, um, pay things off. I'm continuing to pay a few things off. I still have a storage in Alaska with more of my stuff. And it's a lot that's another thing this has allowed me to do. Also, because of my depression and anxiety, I tend to withdraw and isolate a lot. It's really easy for me to do that. It's really hard for me not to do that, to connect and engage. And so again, to have a community that that is, that's a family that is so supportive, it helps me to connect with people too. It helps me to get out of my own head and and connect with people, and it's I'm able to do that here. I'm not always able to do that out in the general public or in every situation. But here, you know, it honestly feels like, I mean, I honestly believe that, you know, that these people care for me, you know, that we're a family. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, it's really helped me to connect with people again too. I feel like I have friends now, which I haven't had for a long time.
And I consider you guys all good friends. Like I.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah.
you're definitely one of those. But yeah, so it's helped me in numerous ways. I haven't had friends or family, like I said, for quite a while. At least this close and supportive. Anyway.
Well, I'm glad that you feel that way, and yeah, I know the times are weird, and you know, I'm glad we can all stick together.
Yeah.
Do you feel that the village maintains stable operations without a Homes Now board member on site 24/7?
Yes, I do. For one, like I said, with um, Tina Hayes earlier, she's tireless, just in everything that she does for us and all the work that she does. And again, like I said, I still haven't met anybody that really wants to get on her bad side or cross her. So, but I mean, also we're all adults. I mean, with the screening process to get in here, you know, yeah, these are all decent, good people. And so running it, yeah, it's, it's just like if this was a big apartment building and we just all were roommates in this big house or something, we would have to govern ourselves the same way, and we would have to get along. We wouldn't have a babysitter or anything to
right,
do that.
and that's how it would be with permanent housing. So
Right.
This is how it has to be. If the goal really is to find permanent housing, you have to have a model that is like permanent housing as far as how you're treated.
Exactly.
You know?
And I mean, the layout is a little bit different. Our individual houses are more like our rooms.
Right.
You know, we kind of have an open air kitchen and an open air dining room. And,
right. It's almost like a dorm or something where you have a
yeah, or
area.
something like that. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of consider like the open area out there kind of like the living room, you know, like the gathering place. So yeah, that's how a lot of us look at it, is if this was just one big house and we have to, you know, we all live together. We have to get along.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure people have had problems with each other, but I have yet to see something not get resolved.
Right. Yeah, like it's always,
and it's always like the same day. It's within an hour or two. You know, by the end of that day, you know, those two people that just, you know, were screaming at each other or sitting and laughing and having a cigarette together or something. So again, it is like family or roommates. You know, there's disagreements sometimes, but
it's been nothing major though to where
well, it's just family stuff, and you work it out, and sometimes, you know, you need time away from each other, but like I said, we're all adults. Everybody talks, everybody cools off and apologizes and everything. And yeah, like you said, it's nothing been, you know, major. It's just regular roommate stuff, like, you know, somebody didn't do their dishes or something like that.
Yeah, and over time, I've seen it improve even from when I first started working with you guys. I think it's better than it was. So to just keep going up, I see it. Even though you always have little hurdles along the way, but it's not. It's been. I've been pleased with how you guys have managed your own village. I really am.
Right. Well, this place, if I may, real quick, this place, in my opinion, is so self-governing that, because like you're saying, it continues to get a little bit better, and that's because the residents here want to change. We want to get our lives back. And I mean, we weren't always like this. We've been normal people before, all of us. We've raised kids and have jobs and all kinds of stuff. I worked in, you know, in TV, live TV and radio in Alaska. So we're all invested in wanting to get our life back. So I've noticed the longer I'm here that the good, I don't want to see like good people, not that there's bad people, but the bar is set high because everybody wants to get better. And so if a resident comes in that doesn't want to actually change their life and get better, they're almost forced out.
Yeah,
If
like
that
that.
makes any sense.
Yeah, and
Because,
it's not like you guys go out of your way to force them out, but they just like end up not fitting there, and they end up leaving on their own or something.
yeah, well, and that's
that.
what I mean. We've had several people leave that that were here for a few weeks or a month and then left on their own, because it is you have to be involved. It's
Right.
It's a community. It's a family. You can't just hide in your house. You have to be out there and engage and do your chores and you know, help with running the place and things like that. So yeah, so that's what I mean. It's because everybody in here really wants to get their life together, then yeah, if you're a new incoming resident, the bar is pretty high. You have to want to get better. If you're just looking for a place to coast or hang out, yeah, this isn't the place.
Right. And I agree. Yeah, I'm glad that that's the case. I think running the place would be a lot harder if that was not true, if that was not the case.
I agree, yeah.
So another question. So how many police calls have been made to Unity Village since it opened in August of 2019?
None that I've ever seen. I've never seen the police here. I took a little ambulance ride once because I was really not feeling well. I could not stop throwing up. But that's the only flashing lights or anything we've ever had at the city.
Right. I mean, I think that's a better record than a lot of neighborhoods have.
Right. And I asked them. I called my neighbor and asked Dan, please call please call me an ambulance. So again, that wasn't something that was reported from outside or that somebody.
Well, right, and even if someone did call and they came down there, there was no incident that.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was from inside. It wasn't from, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to the general public?
I guess maybe just reiterate kind of what I said earlier, and that's that we're all adults here. Just because we hit a rough patch and ended up without a dwelling to live in, that says nothing about who we are or what kind of people we are.
Yes.
We're all intelligent people. We've all, you know, I'm 52. I know I don't need a full-time babysitter. I've taken care of myself for a long time. And yeah, there's been it's been rough lately. It's harder to take care of yourself on the street. But I guess even in that perspective, everybody here has been through just horrible things. And we've been on the street and we've had to fight and we've made it and we've survived. And honestly, compared to just being on the street and everything, running this place and getting along with each other is easy, is no problem compared to the other things that we have been through. And on the street, we didn't have a babysitter or a supervisor or somebody watching it. We were on our own, and we made it. I mean, we're here because we want to be here, because we fought to get here. I've never used anything stronger than alcohol myself. I didn't do meth or crack or anything like that to get here. I simply lost my housing. That's all.
Right. And
One of my good friends, one of the residents here, is 16 years clean. Way before she got here, she was already clean. And she didn't have a staff helping her with that. She didn't have a babysitter watching over her. She did that on her own. She's only been here maybe a year. So 15 years of that she did by herself. So I guess that's what I would want people to know, that a lot of us have depression and anxiety and severe PTSD and probably some other things. You know, a lot of us are ex-addicts, but it's ex-addicts.
And if there was anything seriously sketch going on, it would be obvious. There's, you can't avoid other people,
right? Well, see, again, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by the bar is set really high. Like I said, we have one resident who's clean for 16 years. She is not going to jeopardize that. So yeah, if somebody came in and they were using no, it's not going to fly, because that would be triggering to too many of us. That would threaten to disrupt our recovery too much.
Right, and the signs are pretty obvious when that's occurring.
Right, and we wouldn't allow it.
Right.
Whatever you guys said, we as residents would not allow that, because this is ours. This is our chance. These are our houses. And that's really just what it comes down to. We've always run the place.
Yes.
Even when we had a full-time staff, all they did was assist. If somebody needed to talk, if somebody wasn't having a great day, or if we needed something physically, like we were out of paper towels or something.
Yeah, and we still do that, but I would actually say that it works better now, because when for example, like when I had to stay there 2 days a week or 3 days a week, I got burned out because I felt like I was trapped there. And so what would happen is, if you guys needed something on my day off, I'd be like, no, this is my day off. I don't know if I want to go down there. But then if it's like, I come down every day pretty much, but like when needed. And so it doesn't, so I actually like going down there. I like going down there all the time. But when the city artificially says that I'm forced to be there and I can't even go to the grocery store, then I suddenly don't like being there, and I feel like I'm just waiting for the clock to run out so I can go home.
Right.
And so it's been great. It's actually a much better feeling now running it like we do now.
Well, I agree, and honestly, we as the residents felt mildly insulted by the fact that we needed to have a staff member here. In fact, we called it the babysitter. We would talk to each other and go, "Who's the babysitter tonight?" Yeah,
I agreed from the start about that too, but we did it because we were told we would get shut down if we didn't, and then COVID happened, and then it was like, oh, I guess we can now. Oh, guess they changed their mind.
Right.
So,
I mean, we don't even have really young people here. I mean, the youngest person we have is probably in their mid-30s or something. I mean, this is all adults.
Right.
These are all people who know what they want, who have done things before, who have raised kids. I mean, I have 3 wonderful kids that are out, doing all across the country. So yeah, I guess, I would just reiterate again that our living situation is not a reflection of who we are.
Yeah,
I guess is what I want to say.
No, that's I totally agree, and I actually think that this policy is, I would call it classist, because they say that you guys can't manage your own village. Rick Sepler even said in a public statement that they talked with Lehigh, which owns a whole bunch of tiny home communities, and that Lehigh said that under no circumstances can a village run itself. And he said that, and that was after we've said many times that a village can run itself, and here you go, we're doing it right now. And so it's
And we're not the only one.
no.
There's one in Seattle that was started by homeless people. They didn't even. It was just homeless people got together themselves and said, "Hey, let's all live in one place together, so we can take care of each other."
And there's lots of examples of it, and it works. Yeah,
I mean, they pretty much did almost exactly what we're doing, but it wasn't even an organization first. It was just the homeless people themselves said, "Let's do this," and they just did it all. And so, like, even like your position over there is a, you know, so yeah,
I just facilitate, right? Because like I'm the chairman of the organization, but I just mostly what I do is I'm almost like a mediator or a referee. Like I try to prevent interference as much as possible, but I don't actually try to dictate orders or anything like that.
Right.
Or be the boss.
Well, I mean, most of the time when I see you're either like bringing our water, or you're emptying our gray water, or it's you're bringing in some groceries or something, or it's Sunday dinner and you're bringing in food. Most of the time, your position seems like it's a service position. I never see you doing like paperwork or anything. I mean, you probably do at home and stuff, but like when I see you, it's always here doing something for us.
Yeah.
You're never here and like shouting orders and blah, 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 and this and blah. It's always just, what do you guys need? It's always, oh, hey, here, you know, oh, the water's out. Let me go get some more water. Oh, the gray water's full. Let me go empty that. Do you guys need anything? Okay, I'll run to Costco real quick or whatever. I'll run to the store and I'll get that. Yeah, it's just facilitating us. It's just helping us to run it. It's getting us what we need to be able to run it. And then, yeah, we pretty much run it, and even then, again, the truth is we're all adults. We just behave as adults.
Yes.
We take care of ourselves and we clean up after ourselves and we, wash our own laundry and we whatever, for the most part, we all kind of live like we were living individually, but at the same time, that you have, support and family and everything right here. So I don't know, it's kind of best of both. It's kind of win-win, I think, but
yeah, I agree. But anyway, thanks a lot. I really appreciate you doing this.